Good morning everyone. Welcome back to grade 5 mathematics class. How are you all doing today? We have been learning a lot about patterns and shapes. What do you mean by pattern? When you have something that's happening repeatedly based on some logic, you call that as a pattern. And when designs are repeating, we have a pattern with designs. And we learned how shapes and objects can be turned around about a fixed point so that the turned image will look exactly like the initial one. And we call that as rotational symmetry. Now, what if we turn shapes to create some patterns? It will be more beautiful. So today, let's talk about creating patterns by turning shapes. Look at this example picture given here. Look at the first image. In the second case, the given image is turned through a quarter turn like this in the clockwise direction. And in the third picture you can see the first image is again turned through a quarter turn. So right now it has gone through a half turn. So initially this was the image. We turned it like this and we get this. Again we turned it like this and we get this image. Now that we know the pattern rule or the pattern logic for this one, can you predict what comes next in this pattern? Can you visualize it? Let's see. This is the image that comes next in the pattern. So this was turned like this through a quarter turn to get this. Again, this one was again turned through a quarter turn to get this. Then the third image is again a quarter turn to get the fourth image. So similarly, we can use different types of designs and we can turn these designs to create beautiful patterns. Now let's see one more example. You see a pattern here. See the first image. Can you predict what is the image that comes next? First, the image rotated like this about the fixed point. It again rotated or turned. Then it again rotated like this. And we get this image. So if we know the pattern, we can always predict what comes next in the sequence. Here, we have turned the shapes or the images to create a beautiful pattern. Now we'll do one activity. Page number 123 in your textbook, you can see the exercise 7.4. You see the first question, complete the patterns. And you are given a set of 4 patterns there. And you are given the first 4 images in the pattern. You are supposed to complete the next 3 images in the pattern. Let's see the first one. Question A. Can you say what comes next in this pattern? First you have a curve like this and you have a dot on the left. Then the same curve, but right now the dot is on the right. Then it repeats. A curve, a dot on the left, then the same curve and the dot on the right. Can you predict what comes next? It would be the same curve with a dot on the left. And after that, it would be the same curve with dot on the right. Then the curve with dot on the left. And it goes like that. And it's a repeating pattern. A repeating pattern with designs. Now the next one. You have an upward triangle and there is a straight line right below it. Then it is inverted. The given image is inverted. Then the first image, then the inverted image. Then what comes next? It would be the upward triangles, then the line, and it would be, the next would be the inverted triangles and the line, and it goes on like that. Similarly, you can complete the rest of the patterns in your textbook itself. Now we'll see one more activity. Below that you can see this question. Let me read out the question to you. Sumita created the following patterns using waste material. Pick the odd one out and set it right. This one you can do as an activity now. You can pause this video, try working out these questions and then come back. Hope you are done with that. Now let's discuss the answers to the questions. The first one, you can see an arrow that goes up, then right, down, left, up, down, down, left, up, right and down. Can you pick out the odd one in this pattern? The one that doesn't seem to be fitting in this pattern. When you observe this pattern, you can see the pattern rule is like up, right, down, left, up. The next would be right, an arrow pointing to the right. So can you point out the odd one? It would be this one. So how would you correct it? The correct pattern would be the up arrow, then to the right, then down, then left, then it would again be up, then right, down, then left. And it goes on like that. Is it clear to you now? Let's see the next one, question B. Here we have a first image, and in the second image it seems that the first image is turned about a fixed point. And again it comes to the initial position, then it's turned, then the initial position, and the next one seems to be the odd one in the pattern. This one. It should be looking like this. So how do you correct it? Let's draw the correct pattern. You can draw the correct patterns in your notebook. So this is the first image. Then the second one is, it looks like this. Then let's draw the third one. Then the fourth one. The next one would be, then again the one which looks vertical, and it goes on like that. Let's see the next one, question C. Observe this pattern. There is a square inside which we have a small circle. Now in the second case, this first image seems to be turned through a quarter turn. Like this. Like this. Then again it's rotated or turned. Then again it's rotated, and in the next picture it seems that the image is not rotated. So which is the odd one? This is the odd one in the pattern. How it should look like? It should be looking like this. When you turn the previous image, it should look like this, and this is the image that comes next in the pattern. Now let's move on to the fourth question, question D. Observe the pattern. The first image is turned anti-clockwise like this. To get this one, again the second image is turned clockwise like this, and anti-clockwise like this, and it seems that the next image is not properly turned or rotated. So this is the odd one in the pattern, and how it should look like? It should look like something like this. Now you can draw neatly in your notebook. Let's move on to the next one. It seems that you have the first image which is inverted in the second case, and that is repeated. Again the first image, then inverted image 2 times, and the next image seems to be not rotated properly or not turned properly. So that is the odd one in this pattern. So what it should look like? It should look like this. So this is how it should look like according to the pattern logic. I hope you got all the answers correct, and there is one more part to this question. Create some patterns using waste material. We can create some beautiful patterns using waste materials. That is one creative way of recycling waste materials. We can cut out beautiful patterns using used papers, or you can draw beautiful patterns on disposable glasses. Be creative and try to create wonderful patterns. Now you can go through this topic, creating patterns, in page number 122 and 123 of your textbook. Go through the topic once again, and in page number 123 you can see one heading, try this, identify and complete the pattern. There are a couple of questions given there. Go through them and do accordingly. And in the next page, page number 124, you can see these headings: fun with maths, maths lab activity, and my project. So those are some really interesting activities given there. Go through these questions as well and do accordingly. So that's all for today, children. We'll meet in the next class. Till then, bye.